Welcome to Inside the Holocron. We are Streamer Spotlight episode 7, and we brought on the powerful Order of Dylan. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? I'm blessed to be in your presence of serpents and warrior nerd. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing well. So happy to have you finally.
Yeah,
it's been a long time coming. I met you after Vaders Fist was started. So, and then we had this original idea of the Streamer Spotlight, and we had already known a few people that we were going to bring on before the idea was even announced. And then there's you, every stream, every podcast just supporting and then doing exactly what we want with Vaders Fist. And we were just like, well, we're going to get Dylan on. It's just a matter of when can we get him into the schedule. And finally, here we are, week 7, and we're excited to have you on, man, because you're as big a Star Wars fan as us. Your streams are amazing, I'm excited to talk about Knockout City with you. But the Star Wars side of things, man, you're right there. You just love Star Wars as much as we do, and a perfect fitting for Inside the Holocron. Cerberus, man, I haven't really talked to you too much today. What were you up to?
I'm doing well. Nice to see your haircut, man. No beard. No.
Does he not? Does he look good, chat? Like, can we get some love in chat right now for the clean warrior nerd? What's up, man?
Don't worry, guys. In just several months, if we just stay calm, by the time Halo Infinite comes out, I will have a beard once again, and I will be going into the Halo Zeta and the Combat the Covenant and the Flood, whatever they give us. So don't worry, the beard will come back. I don't like it.
You don't?
I don't know. And it's weird because
welcome to my life.
I'll be 30 July 5th old. I can feel it in my bones. But for 29 years, I was just like this. But now when I look at it, I'm a stranger. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, how does
your face feels naked?
Yeah.
Literally.
So, the other day, the day I shaved, we went to the gas station, and I felt like everyone was staring at me. And I'm like, I don't know any of these people. There's no way they know me. And but I feel like they were like looking at me like, where's this dude's beard at? He's a punk. That's what I thought. That's what I felt like. And
like they knew you before or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, man. And oh man, I'm devastated, but we'll get it back.
So just happy to be here. New Bad Batch episode. Did you watch it, Dylan?
Yes, I did. Watch it this morning. I caught up. I'm good to go.
Okay,
epic, man. And then before we get into the Bad Batch, though, so you streamed today. Tell us about your stream. How did that go?
Oh, today was a lot of fun, man. I am playing a lot of Knockout City. This game came out a month ago. It is a PvP competitive casual dodge brawl game from EA. Came out in May, and it is so insanely fun, as you might have seen, especially playing with people. Like, it's an amazing community game because it's completely cross-platform and cross-play on all platforms. So, and there's a free trial up to level 25, so anyone can jump in. It's a very easy game to pick up and play. Like, the controls are just so smooth, difficult to master, but good lord, the game is just so much fun. And we'll probably talk about this later. Like, I kind of pivoted away from Battlefront, and I was in this forest trying to find, like, what am I going to play a lot of? And even though this game doesn't, fit into the Star Wars space, it does what I wanted more than anything, which is to have a game that I can build like the stream around and get people together playing, and like having full 8-person lobbies playing this game is just insane.
Community driven games, man. And I've said it before. That's why I'm so excited for Infinite. It'll be free to play multiplayer.
Huge.
And we'll have 16, possibly even 30 to 32 people lobbies. And if I have 10, 15 people watch me who all have the game and we can get in there, I think that's more fun than just reading to a chat. Like, we can get into proximity chat. We can play games, run tournaments, free flowing games, man. And that's awesome. And I told you a couple of weeks ago, I was like, dude, you're killing it. Just keep doing it, because there's not a lot of people within our particular community playing Knockout City. So now, as the game grows, they're going to go to Dylan, and hopefully, it's going to be a fun stream, and your streams are fun too. So you make it a good time. You're not just watching the game. It's a very interactive stream. So
100%. I feel like it's a different pace than Battlefront, because Battlefront, you probably solo queue a lot, or if you play with people, it's up to, like, if you play Heroes Resistance, it's up to 4 people.
Yeah, 4.
And most of the time when you play Battlefront 2, at least speaking for myself, I don't really like speak with voice comms all the time. It's just free flowing. So it's nice to have a game where you can, like, kind of have friends to play with. It's like similar to this game that we've all been recently playing called Dread Hunger.
Mhm.
I get made fun of because I play like 3 games and I sign off, but it's like a constant trend. But with Dread Hunger, it's a similar type of game. It's fun to play with randoms, but it's so great to get like a group of friends. Just play with all your friends and like, you know, I like those type of games, especially proxy chat and stuff.
The cross-platform helps. Like
Yeah.
I preach this all the time with any game release that comes out now. If it's not cross-platform, what are you doing? Like cross-platform is huge because I've got people when we do 8-person lobbies, we got people on PlayStation, people on Switch, people on Xbox, people on PC, and it makes it so easy. And the game's not that expensive, and there's a free trial. Like it's easy to get people to. It's never like it would be difficult sometimes to find people for HVV, but now it's like I have to turn people away and be like build a queue basically of people like to come play Knockout City.
Yeah, one of our guardians and one of our very, very good friends, Kylo, he for the longest time he was outcasted because he played on the PlayStation, and me and Serbs and DC and Boba all came from Xbox and then gradually moved to PC. And finally Kylo got his PC, and then we were just like so excited. But yeah, if you're not doing crossplay, luckily Halo, even though it's exclusive, it's still coming to the PC. So we have that little bridge. But yeah, I'm with you, man. If it doesn't have crossplay, it's automatically, I feel like, gonna fade out into the next. We'll just get the next game or whatever.
I feel like most games are transitioning into crossplay, at least like for the last few years.
They have to.
Like Battlefront 2 is like the last game that I can remember that's not really.
Yeah, and it's so weird. Like the fact that you even have to do that is like it's like something of old now. So I think it's the new norm. These games coming cross-platform, and then also free to play because what you said, it's free to play up till 25, and it brings people in. Because if a game's $40 to $60 and you're just watching, I don't know if I'm going to play that, then they might just skip it. But if it's free to play, and then they get it, like for Dylan, you love the game, so now you're going to start. If an expansion pack comes out, I'm sure you would buy it, right? So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, and I've been able to convince people to buy the game, like literally EA. I'm getting people to buy your product. People have come in and be like, "Oh, this game looks fun." They played with me, and it's like, "Oh, well, the free trial's over. Well, I guess I'll buy it now because I think it's only $15-$20." So like that's a great get people into the game, let them experience it, and again, they can experience it on any platform. That's huge.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And
would you say that it's your go-to game right now, your main game? Would you say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I literally just yesterday applied to their creator crew program, their content creator program. I met the guidelines, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to submit. It's been the main thing I've been doing in my channel. Like I said, I kind of pivoted away from Battlefront 2 just because like I was playing on a PlayStation, and it was becoming difficult to get consistent people playing it, and then also like without mods and without updates from from the developers. It just like I'm right there with you, sir, but it's just like it's kind of hard to like get excited about this because it's nothing new, and at least this is a brand new game that they literally just we have a summer event going on right now, and then we've got a new big release at the end of July with new maps and new stuff, and it's like this is exciting. I can come into my Monday stream and be like, hey guys, we got this happening today because this new thing dropped today and new rotation of playlists and all that. It's just it's again, it doesn't really fit. Like I've got all the Star Wars stuff behind me and I'm not playing a Star Wars game and it's weird, but I'm having fun with this. Like it's just so much fun.
I don't think you need to stream a Star Wars game every single day to label yourself as a Star Wars content creator.
For sure.
And I think Warrior is the definition of what that means because his YouTube channel has. I'm making him blush with his new haircut, but
yeah, you guys can see his cheeks. I can't even hide anything
But he has achieved 2,000 YouTube subscribers on his Star Wars YouTube channel.
Amazing content. I just want to say that, by the way.
He's a Star Wars content creator. Just because you don't have a Star Wars game on your screen every single day doesn't mean you're not a Star Wars content creator. Yeah, in my opinion. So
even if you didn't, I do like with no one even asked, if I was to like tell my inner monologue what's going on, like I would say I'm a Star Wars content creator, but then I'd also say I'm a Halo content creator, and I would say I'm a Resident Evil content creator. Because I make that content, and that's good, Dylan. Man, I'm so happy that you're doing the. I think it's the right decision to play Knockout City, and then being a partner of. Hopefully, you're going to get that. I believe in you, man, and that'd be amazing for your channel to get a partner. It would be. Who knows if they start doing drops or anything? That'd be even better.
Yeah, that's the idea.
We don't. Yeah, I was gonna say we don't always read like every single question, but I think that question's a really good question.
Yeah,
I think this could apply for all of us. Would you still be playing Battlefront 2 if it was still updated?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yes, I
And
think so.
I'd be playing it every
Even
day.
on PlayStation, like if you're telling me like we're gonna introduce actual Ahsoka, or we're gonna introduce like the Mandalorian and Grogu like as characters with like Mandalorian inspired, like think about that, a Mandalorian expansion or DLC
The
for
Republic.
Battlefront would have been huge, or or additional sequel trilogy content. Yes, yeah, I think for sure, because it would give me a place to talk more about Bad Batch and all that. But yeah, the lack of not having new characters, especially again being confined to console for now, made it difficult to get excited. And you can feel it in your community. Like I feel it in my community that it was like we're playing Battlefront 2, and it just felt ho hum. And I never want my channel or my content to feel like, oh, we're just going through the motions, basically. You know what I mean? We're just here playing Battlefront today, and it's on Tuesday. You know what I mean? I didn't want that anymore.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to get Daz Assassin on the podcast, and he was even saying the same thing. Yeah, it's a side hobby. He makes some money off of it, but he doesn't want to mod. Like he would much rather EA come out with these expansion packs. Like, and it's such a disservice. You know, we would all be playing if there was a new DLC that came with Tython, and you have the Mandalorian, and you have Ahsoka, and you have a new Boba and whatever, and then we'd also be playing if we had the Bad Batch DLC, and then if they even said like, hey, this August you're gonna get the Book of Boba DLC with Fennec Shan and all this stuff.
Yeah,
It would be so
new
exciting.
modes, like
Community would be popping, man. We'd have like at least 2,000 to 8,000 viewers in that category, and that's really what you need to grow. If you want multiple partners consistently, and then new people coming in consistently as the old people exit, because everybody has day-to-day activities in life, maybe a new job, a family, a kid, where they just have to leave Twitch. So you need the people that leave, then you need people that come in to supplement the people that are leaving. And with Battlefront 2, we're getting none of that. There's no new people coming in and only people leaving. So the streams would start to struggle, unfortunately. So that's a good question, Rogue Alto. Appreciate that, man. With that though, you play Mario Kart as well, and a little bit of SWTOR, and a Disney mobile game, Sorcerer's Arena. Which one of those do you want to talk about?
None. No. SWTOR is something that I 100%, because I've been playing it since it came out. I never really brought it to the stream. Really, it's kind of weird. I still don't really know why. Mostly it's been like just getting my PC, make sure that it can run it properly. But SWTOR, speaking of games like Star Wars games that are actually getting updated, I feel like a lot of people in Vaders Fist are like just now discovering SWTOR that exists. They just announced, like literally yesterday, like breaking news they had a whole live stream about it. They're getting a 10th anniversary expansion in December, Legacy of the Sith. They're doing a huge visual update to the game, new planets, new content, like in December, which is huge. That, like, I've been dabbling with SWTOR here and there, and trying to get my community into it. But now with that, it literally set me in motion, like set to start making plans to get things together, because come December, like we're gonna like go in on that, assuming we don't have another Star Wars game to play.
That you can't do with Battlefront. So just to go back to that, like that game is now 10 years old, and they're having a 10-year anniversary DLC. And you're excited to play, and I watch it. We get what I would assume is going to be the conclusion of the Darth Malgus story, right? That's what we think.
Gotta be.
I'm a Darth Malgus fan. I've only played one of the DLCs. I know there's a lot.
Yeah,
but that's enough. Because now there's an ending, right? So I don't want to just hop in because it's a game I don't play consistently. But now if I know there's an ending to the story, this December off stream, that's something I'm going to play. But just me being off stream builds the community, because now I'd watch you play. I would watch Chimeri, and I would know what's going on with the story, and it just builds up even more. So that's good, man. That's
nice
amazing.
that they care a lot about that game, and it seems to have a really great foundation and community, both on Twitch and YouTube.
It's crazy that because a lot of people thought the game was dead, like because it was initially a subscription only game, and then it went free to play, and then the numbers died dramatically, and a lot of people thought the game was dead. But here we are 10 years later, it's still getting updates. They had a major expansion about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. they're still slowly but surely, they have enough of a development team where they're still putting out content, and they just announced a huge new expansion. Like that's like heartwarming for me as someone who, like, I was obsessively following that game back in like 2008, 2009 when it was initially announced, and to see that it's still going strong, it makes me excited. It's something that I've been harping on that I really want to build my stream around, and we'll get to that. Yeah. We'll get to it at some point.
Yeah, and they even have little DLC stuff for Bad Batch as well. Like I think they have
cosmetics,
cosmetics and all that stuff. So EA, anyone that's ever worked on any of those games, they can look at what SWTOR's done so they don't make the same mistake twice. Which is cool. So you started streaming in May 2020. Finally, that's 2 in a row. We're getting out of February.
Yes.
So but May 2020. So you've been streaming quite longer than the other ones. I've been streaming longer. What's your experience in the over the years worth of experience now? What's some of the trials and errors that like, okay, I'm never doing that again? Did you run anything? Because for me,
oh God,
I was very vocal about the follow for follow trap that I personally got into years ago, and I got out of it.
Warrior messaged me on Instagram saying, "Hey, follow me," and I'm like,
"That is not." I'm
just kidding.
Don't just been lie to the chat, but Dylan, is there anything that you just want to tell people? Don't do this.
How much time do we have? There's a lot. I think okay, some of the biggest mistakes I made early on, not networking enough, not spending enough time in other channels, especially like around Battlefront, because I started streaming Battlefront like blind. Like I wasn't even really watching any other Battlefront streams. It was something that I started streaming, like literally one of my first streams, and that became my main thing. And I built the whole channel around Star Wars and all that. But I wasn't spending nearly enough time in other Battlefront communities, even people like SERP. Like I wasn't watching SERP as much as I should have. I was, because I mod for a large partner streamer, which kind of occupies a lot of my time. So that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. Also, just not getting like the visual elements of my channel right, like just the sound and camera and all that, making sure that putting my best foot forward as early as I possibly can. I still somehow grew and all that, which is great. But that I wish I had fixed some of those things earlier because it would have helped. Honestly, one of the biggest things that I really missed out on, that's kind of out of my control, was when Battlefront had that spike in January when it went free on Epic. I started a new job and I wasn't streaming as much, and I missed out on that wave because I know some people who like they benefited like hugely, and I'm sure you saw that. Like when that game went free, like it was nuts. Like there were so many people flocking to the game, and that was right at the time when I was streaming like less than I've ever been before. There's a lot,
but those are things you can't control.
Like, yeah, I know.
And you with like production value, that comes through learning experience. Like we all like have gone through a journey where we all like find things down the road that we want to improve, and like whether that we just like rewatch our VOD and like, okay, I can work on my mic a little bit, I can upgrade my mic or my camera. Like that all comes through, like that's natural. And then like, with your job, I just believe like that's just the thing in a situation. I think things happen for a reason, and you're here now, and it's incredible. Doing incredible, and you found a game. Who knows? Maybe if you stayed with Battlefront in January, you maybe would have felt obligated to stick with it now. But,
sure, that's the point.
So
yeah, there's a lot comes with the Epic. It was a lot of highs and a lot of lows for people, especially after. And I was one of them. I was like, man, like what's going on is. Yeah, I was like, is my content not good enough? And then just you have to make a realization, like, no, it's just the game, man. And the Epic hype is something that would literally, it would take like a whole stream and something we want to definitely take a deep dive in. Yeah. But we need to be able to take the Epic game hype and then see it in other categories, and you have already done that, Dylan, probably without even thinking about it with SWTOR, because it's the same thing, right? Yeah. Epic Games makes Battlefront 2 free. People flock in. SWTOR is now having a DLC in December. It's going to bring a big, large pool of old players and some new players in because they're going to hype up the conclusion of Darth Malgus, and then boom, who knows? So maybe that's your next big opportunity, and I'm excited for that. What's some stuff about the streaming world? Because you said you wanted to get into it. What's some things that you want to talk about? What's your next big thing? What's some milestones that you're trying to get after?
Oh, milestones. Well, we actually just, I mean, they round up, but we just hit the 2,000 follower mark on Twitch.
Nice.
As far as like on Twitch, the number itself, which is really cool. My goal right now is it's very difficult to pivot to something new. Serp remembers I used to be streaming in the morning, and I was streaming Battlefront 2 in the morning, bright and early in the morning, and it was going well. But then when I started my new job, it was difficult to do that. And then even I tried to go early mornings, like once I got a new schedule, but that didn't really work the way I wanted it to, because there wasn't as many people to network with, and it was just I could only stream by like 2 hours. Like I was locked into that, which like completely handicaps your channel. So I'm basically making the difficult pivot of going from morning Battlefront streamer to afternoon this other game streamer. And you know, Serp, like better than anyone, that like making that pivot is gonna be difficult, because you're gonna constantly have people coming in saying, hey, why are you not playing Battlefront? Why are you not doing this thing? Especially when you change time slots. It's very difficult. But I'm having more fun right now playing like Knockout City and Mario Kart with Gaming Pizza Boy. I saw him in chat. Boosh and members of Vaders Fist. We had some community days doing that. That's been a lot of fun. I've basically pivoted to focusing right now, until we get that next Star Wars thing that I can really build my channel around, which I really want to do. Focusing on games that make me laugh and make me happy, but more so games I can play with people, because I feel like I'm best when I'm like I've got people in my ear and we're in voice chat and I can bounce off of them. That's when my channel is at its most maximum fun. So as far as just general goals, I just want to continue to grow my channel, my community. It's not about like getting partnered and all that's not realistic right now. I just want to continue to grow the community, because I want to impact as many people as I can with like the positivity and the vibes and all of that. And again, just maximize the fun. I want, when people come to this channel, I want them to feel like my day is now like 100% better that I found this channel.
Yeah,
dude, that's amazing, dude. And it's good that you recognize, because I'm in the same boat you are. That partner is a goal. It is, but who knows? It could be 6 months, it could be 3 years from now, or whatever. But it's either way. It's not today, and it's not next week, and it's not in this next month. So I'm just focused on what's best for me and my community, which to me is just getting everyone used in the feel of Halo, bringing new Halo people in, and then gearing up for Infinite. And you're seeing that too with your stream. You know, you're building the community up. That's going to take that playing community games not only establishes a better connection than just talking to them to a chat, because now they're going to go with you if you go play Hollow Knight, or if you go play a new arcade style game, or if you go play a new campaign game or Fallen Order 2, they're going to follow you to watch that game. And then whenever you get your final game, they're going to go with you as well.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's kind of the goal. And it's been interesting because, like, again, seeing the changing patterns of people who come and go, because it's like, oh, you were doing this, you're not really doing that anymore. Because, you know, Twitch audiences, and we as Twitch audience, we can be fickle. Like, we follow a streamer because they were doing this certain thing and they stopped doing that thing. So you're like, I don't want to watch them more. I want to watch this thing. So, but it's just been really, really awesome to see new people come in who have just been playing like this game with, and that part of it, like just knowing that I can make this transition and still like have this like sense of community is like awesome. And it lets me know, have the confidence, hey, viewership is going to be up and down, it's going to be whatever right now, but as long as like we feel like we're growing and people are having fun and they're in your Discord and it's active, my Discord's pretty active like every day, like that's all that matters. And the momentum spike will come at some point. I know it was. I have a lot of confidence in myself and what I've built so far, but that's coming. It's got to be patient.
Dude, I dig it, man. I think me and you, we're on the same page, man. We have the same thought process, because I had many of these conversations with Serpents, and I was like, dude, I believe in the content. I do, man. Everything that I put out, I believe in it. And then I have this good core group that I call the Revenites, and I was like, they're all that really matters, man. As long as we're together and I'm making the content, the momentum is, I can feel it, and then boom, it's happened. What you just said literally happened to me in the last couple of weeks, and it took 1 year of solid hard work and believing in that for it to happen. Right, dude. I love that mindset, and I think everyone should really rewatch the podcast at this timestamp, which is like 24 minutes in, and just hear those words. Believe in your content and just go. Right, everything else will fall into place eventually. I do believe in that.
And you're also like taking care of your own self, because you're happier now. You're playing a game that you love. and you're also discovering who's really there for you. You know, you transition games and you're seeing like really who's with you, who's sticking with you throughout those games that you change. And you can really see who's there. And not only it does it make you happy, but it also gets you guys closer. And Warrior and I spoken about that before. And he has his core group called the Revenites. And these are just the incredible community members that he has that sticks with him through everything. And it becomes actually like a family. It's not just a viewer and a streamer, but it becomes something a lot more closer than that. So I think that's really beautiful. And I think you're like, it's no transition is easy. Like, I think not only all three of us are going through it, but I feel like majority of streamers that were within the Battlefront 2 community are, you know, at least getting a taste of it here and there. No transition is easy, but you know, if you're doing what you love and you're having fun and your community is having fun and you're happy, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, and you've been a huge inspiration, by the way. Like seeing what you've been doing with Sea of Thieves, like that's been a hard pivot. I know it was a hard pivot, but like your streams have been so fun. Like you've adopted that into your overlays and your branding and all that, and that's been a huge inspiration for me to know, hey, like you can do this. Like you can make a pivot to something new. That's like you just got a huge update, dude. Like you just got a huge update that you can get excited about and play and have people play with. And like that's been a huge inspiration for me to continue just pushing ahead with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, what Serb has done over there is something that I'm definitely taking into complete and consideration for Infinite. And the closer we get to November, the more the stream is going to transition from alerts and backdrops and everything. And I've already done that with the logos and everything, getting that ready. But that is one of the best things that you can do is theme your channel. And now Serb has, like, we talked about this too. Like he has 2 YouTube channels, right? He's announced that. So he has his Star Wars YouTube channel and your normal YouTube channel, and all that art can be used for whatever type of genre you're looking for. So his Ahsoka art will be Star Wars related, and then the S and Serpent logo will be used for his other content, which is amazing. So the theming, your brand is, and you build it, and I think that's what is really good too to help up and coming people, and then people like me and Dylan who are trying to look for the next game to play.
Well, what I was trying to say earlier was Star Wars is what brought all of us together. And just because you don't have Star Wars on your screen every day on Twitch doesn't mean you're not a Star Wars content creator. It's just about exploring what way you want to express Star Wars. Some people like to express it through gaming. Some people like to express it through what we're doing right now, our Star Wars podcast, reviews, unboxings, you know, community events. Some people enjoy cosplay. You know, people express their love through Star Wars in multiple different ways of content. Just about kind of finding where you're comfortable at. And this was what I was most comfortable with in terms of keeping Twitch a place where you can just stream whatever and have a fun time. And then whatever's outside of that is just literally only focused on Star Wars. And that's where we all can connect. And that's what brought all of us together, you know? So I think that's the special part.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back is what you have down as your favorite Star Wars movie. I think most people will agree with that. Mine's A New Hope, but man, any given day, if I was punched in the face, I might wake up and say Empire Strikes Back. It's that close. So
yeah,
I love Empires. It's something. I mean, I can watch generally any Star Wars every day and be happy, but A New Hope and then Empire Strikes Back is the 1-2 punch that just never gets old. What makes Empire Strikes Back so special to you?
I mean, besides just like all the iconic moments, like think about all of the iconic things about Star Wars, like the Imperial March wasn't in A New Hope. It was in Empire Strikes Back. That song, Yoda, Empire Strikes Back. Lando, Empire Strikes Back. Boba Fett, Empire Strikes Back, right?
Yeah.
So many iconic things about Star Wars are in Empire Strikes Back, or we're not in A New Hope. Besides all that, it's just an incredible film. It's a very unconventional movie as well. Like it's a film that, think about blockbuster films now. How many blockbuster films today have their gigantic action set piece start at the beginning? Like the Battle of Hoth is the biggest thing in the movie, and it's the beginning of the movie. The rest of the film is kind of like it's these little character stories of Han and Leia and the crew trying to avoid Vader the whole film while Luke goes and trains. It's a very unconventional film, and I love that about it. That it doesn't zig or zag the way a lot of movies do, a lot of modern blockbusters do, or even blockbusters at the time do. And it's just an incredibly well written film. It deepens all of the characters, like the relationship between Han and Leia. That grows throughout that film. Luke's understanding Force, our understanding of the Force, was deepened in that movie, right? With Luke and everything that Yoda taught us, not just Luke, about what the Force is. I love that. And then the Vader Luke fight. There's so much to love about that fight. The way that Vader sort of at the beginning of the battle doesn't really take Luke seriously. He's fighting with one hand because he's kind of feeling him out. And then as he starts to see that, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, right? Then the tone of the battle changes. And I just love that there is a narrative to this battle. Like, it's not just two people lightsabering. It's like there's an actual arc to that fight. It's one of the best lightsaber fights in Star Wars. And I mean, what's there not to love about that movie? I think it's the perfect Star Wars film and the quintessential Star Wars film, and I think it's better than A New Hope.
One of the biggest cliffhangers of any film.
Oh yeah, I mean, and then the most iconic plot twist in movie history. Like, what else is there to like say about the movie? Iconic lines, like it's ridiculous.
Planets we were visited for the first time.
Yes,
it has a lot of.
It's just
I feel like
cool. Right. It's when you said Boba Fett too, like that's him just walking down the halls of Bespin and then just standing by this by his slave one and just chilling is one of the most iconic scenes. And then him with Carbonite, and you're like, what's going on with Han? Like, even though Lando says he's okay, you don't think he's okay. You're like, well, he's literally frozen. How's this possible? And then Luke is your hero, who is going to be the hero in the next installment. It has no hand. He's beat up, and the main villain just looks like he's unstoppable. And now he's the father of your hero. And the cliffhanger aspect. I couldn't imagine watching Empire Strikes Back for the first time and then not having the ability to watch Return of the Jedi right after. Because all three of us,
3 years though.
3 years.
We could just watch Return of the Jedi. We watch ESB, then boom, Return of the Jedi is right there on VHS for us to watch.
Yeah.
But for everyone who watched it originally, the 3-year wait, and then you see Harrison Ford over there in Indiana Jones, and you're like, the disrespect, man. Like, can you just get Return of the Jedi out for me? Why do you got to film Indiana Jones? Like, come on, dude. So
everyone was waiting to see how that ended. Yeah.
Amazing, man. Yeah, the ESB is amazing.
They did a rerun. Of Empire Strikes Back in the theaters like a little bit recently. I don't know if you guys saw that. Like, a few people were able, like, I think, oh my gosh, I'm saying like recently, but it was probably like 8 months ago or something like that, or close to a year ago.
Well,
they did like a little celebration for Empire Strikes Back, and they could watch it in the theaters, but it was during COVID. So.
We got. I think every theater did it a little differently for COVID. They would like allow a few people in. Like, I know how we even had the Goonies. Like, any type of classic movie they did, and they just had like a theme of our week. Like, we had a Star Wars week, we had Jurassic Park week, Lord of the Rings week, we had all that, and only like 10 or 15 people, as long as there was like multiple seats open. That's the only way we could go watch. So that'd be awesome. I've always wondered what it'd be like to go back, because you always get the question, what if you play your favorite video game for the first time again?
Oh man,
what it would feel like. And man, I would have to pick A New Hope in theaters. That would be mine. Like, that's how I experienced A New Hope. That's how I got into Star Wars. I was a kid. I was 9 when they put the special editions out. So I was right at that age, a perfect age to where like they put the special editions out before the prequels, and my parents took me to see New Hope. I had never seen Star Wars before. I had no idea what it was, and that's how I discovered Star Wars. Was I watched A New Hope in theaters with my family, and I was like, I was like, what is this? This is amazing. This is incredible. So like all of my toys growing up were all an original trilogy, like Han and Luke and Leia. I fell in love with the Star Wars that my dad fell in love with, which was great. Like, the special editions were literally made for me. I'm that kid, and that started it all. Like, getting to see those movies in theaters, it was a great experience. Awesome. And then now we're here, and we're at the Bad Batch, man. We talked briefly right before we started the podcast, but your overall opinion on the Bad Batch right now?
Yes, I was like out here, like being the devil's advocate, Mr. Negative Nancy, a couple of weeks ago, because the show wasn't doing it for me. And anyone who knows, like, it was from my stream, is like, Dylan's like being hard on the Bad Batch. I wasn't being hard on the show. It's just that even going into it, I personally wasn't super excited about it, just because I was kind of like not over this era, but playing in the same like Reign of the Empire, start of the end of the Clone Wars. I wasn't that excited about the show. But having said all that, especially this back half of the season so far has been awesome. I am in love with Omega. I'm sure we all are here in chat, and you too. Like, I love this character. I am so fascinated by her, her inquisitiveness, like her skills, like, and just like the way she just makes like every scene better. And we're still learning things about her. And she's not, like I was telling Rory before, she's not that annoying kid character who's like, you know, that we see in a lot of these shows. Like, she's actually like fun and useful and talented and skilled and curious, and it makes her fascinating, and she's been like the highlight of the show for me. And she stole the show. She literally stole the show, and she was, I think, probably someone that everyone going in was like, oh no, they're gonna throw a kid into this, you know what I mean? And she's been the highlight for me.
Bad Batch for me, before I was with you, man, I wasn't too excited. Like, I'm always excited for new Star Wars content, but if you ask me what I wanted to watch, I'd rather watch the journey of Rex, an established character, over the Bad Batch. So I was like, why are we getting the Bad Batch, man? We have Rex. Like, I need to know what Rex is doing. And it's like, it's not that I don't care for new characters. I just want my established characters to have a full story. So I was like, I was mad that we weren't getting this. And that's why I was also concerned about Mandalorian before season 1 ever came out. I'm like, why are we getting this character? Like, why is it a Mandalorian character? I didn't get it. I really didn't. I was like, there's so many more stories of established characters that we can have, but they've always proved me wrong. And Omega's the new exception, because once again, just like Grogu did, I have this new child character that I'm just amazed by. Everything that she's doing right now makes me care for the character, and which is a very good thing and a bad thing, because where is she? Like, what happens to this character? And I think we're all kind of a little worried for our very own Omega, just like Hunter is. And at the end of that episode, where Hunter brings out, like, he goes full dad mode, and we're all sitting there with her thinking we're Hunter. And man, I really think that something's going to happen to Omega here soon. If not, because we still don't know how many seasons we're getting, but I'm worried, man. I'm worried.
6 more episodes. In my opinion, I believe that, like, when Bad Batch, when we first were introduced to them in season 7, I thought it was an incredible arc. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, I think, like, for the show, it was like when we got all these new shows released, like, we just want Kenobi, we just want Ahsoka, we just want the main characters. And like you just said, like, we don't know really what happens to Rex directly after season 7 until a little later in Rebels. Like, we don't know the exact timeline. How do him and Ahsoka separate? You know, and we want to explore these answers. But I think what Disney and what Star Wars has done since Rogue One is incorporating these side stories and these side characters that we would have never heard about, that we've never seen in our lives, and it's connecting to the main storyline. And these little pieces here and there, the Mandalorian, Jyn Erso, you know, all these characters are all tying into the main story, and that's what's making the main story. It's making it even more special. And now we're learning more things about Order 66, and like little questions, like simple things, like, when did they become stormtroopers? How long were they phase 2 clone troopers for? Because we're still, like, you know, post Order 66, and there's still phase 2 clone troopers that they're still being used. So I just thought it was really, really interesting with that. And I think ever since around, like, it started off a little, I mean, the premiere was beautiful, I believe, but it started off a little slow here and there. There was like filler episodes, but I feel like since like episode like 6 or 7, it's been like nonstop action.
Yeah, I was telling Warrior, I was like, once Sid showed up, and we kind of got a little bit more of a structure to what the Bad Batch are doing. Like, they're going on these missions for Sid, and then, you know, Cad Payne shows up and all that. Like, it really took off for me. I was gonna say, like, so what we were saying about, like, worried about Omega. It's hard for me. I mean, yeah, we should be worried about all these characters because we don't know what's happening to them. But based on, like, what Rebels, like, I think a lot of people went into Rebels thinking, like, well, Ezra has to die because, like, you know, there's no Jedi showing up, or Ahsoka, you know. We don't really kind of have to have that concern now, because we know these characters can survive beyond this, like, A New Hope starts, so all these characters will be dead. That's not the case. It's a big galaxy. They can be anywhere. We now know Ahsoka is, like, lives on past the original trilogy and into the sequel. So that's not a huge, like, we don't know what's going to happen to Omega. We don't know where they're going to place her, but we can't assume that she's just gonna, like, die or whatever, like, or any of these characters, any of the Bad Batch.
Yeah, for me, it's always
she has.
Yeah, for me, it's always hard to get away from the little dot on the galaxy map that we're focused on and realize that there is an entire galaxy. So if you're on one side living, you probably don't even know what the hell the Skywalkers are doing over there. Like, there's some more over there. Oh, wow. We're over here on the Outer Rim, right? We don't even have, there's no galactic civil war here because we're on the Outer Rim. And for me, it's hard to, like, really, you know, look at the broader spectrum of the galaxy. But yeah, you're right, man. Like we could have stories for her for a long time.
Mhm.
And I do think she plays a vital part in the tie-in to the whole cloning stuff and with Sidious, and they're going to go that route. But who knows? But Serbian, you said that we still have the phase 2, and yeah, the Bad Batch, they're using stun guns with the sun rays the whole time.
7.
So
season 7, yeah.
When are they going to start? Just, you know what? It's time to start taking some lives. Like, this is war again. And I think we're going to get the Bad Batch turning into one of the first rebel cells that we have.
Could be. It could
possibly.
Yeah.
It's just the only question that really sticks with me the most. It's just 2 questions. Number one, why don't we see the Bad Batch in the original trilogy or post, or anything, any mention of it in Rebels or anything? And why don't we see Omega mentioned in anything as well? That's why that's the only thing that's keeping me on edge. I do believe after the last few episodes, I do believe Omega will tie in somehow to Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, we haven't really been able to discuss a whole lot of the Bad Batch episodes lately on podcast, but seeing Fennec Shad again for the second time, which was really, really cool. I'm seeing her more and more of and I said this in the first episode she appeared in. I don't see her as a villain at all. She didn't want to kill Omega, like who she's working with. That was the Kaminoan who wanted to save her, that didn't want to kill her, wanted to turn her in. So there's just so many plot lines here, so many plot holes, and it ties in so well to Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian, because you saw Fennec's not sympathy, but you saw how she didn't need to kill Grogu. It's just little things like that really stick with me.
I think the way they tie it into Book of Boba, because I think they're going to go that route too, is I don't think Boba has the more I think about it, I just don't think Boba really knows about Omega.
Yeah.
And Fennec's going to tell her war stories or something, or Boba's going to, because you know how he doesn't really, he cares about his Mandalorian culture, but he's just over it now. And then Fennec's going to be like, well, I know your kind, your clones. I worked with them, the Bad Batch, and they had the little clone Omega, and he's going to be like, what are you talking about? And then he's going to start going on his little odyssey to find wherever Ahsoka is, or not Ahsoka, Omega is. And I think that would be, that'd be a cool story. It would give some humanization to the clone Boba. I think that'd be amazing. But yeah, I don't know. But with this last episode, man, I really enjoyed it. And then Servants, I think we're gonna eventually mention it, but now we've watched all the trailers, right? So there's nothing left. There no Sterns left on.
That's it. Now there's no more. Yeah, the rest is just we have no idea what's going to happen. Every single piece in the trailer since released a few months ago, don't see a thing anymore. So
exciting.
Similar how they did in Mandalorian. If you look at post episode 5, I think it was, nothing was in the trailer. There was nothing of Corvus. There was nothing of Tython. Absolutely nothing. So we didn't know a single thing. So now it's going to get really, really fun.
The 3 main plot points that are really left for these last 6 episodes are Project War Mantle, Crosshair, and wherever Rex went to. Because I don't think
the bounty hunters in general.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we got 4. Yeah. Where are the bounty hunters?
And this sort of internal conflict between the Kaminoans. What's there's a beef. They have opposite objectives right now.
Yeah. Wow. So we got a lot to cover in 6 episodes.
6 more episodes though, but that's 120 minutes. That's 2 hours left of time. So I think we're gonna get a lot of stuff in 2 hours.
A whole movie.
It's a whole film. That's an whole entire film, almost.
With that, Dylan, what's your main takeaway for these next 6 episodes? What has to happen for you to be to go to sleep happy?
I would say the biggest thing is assuming we're getting a season 2 or season 3, if this is going to be an ongoing series over the next few years, I just want to see where did the Bad Batch fit in the galaxy, beyond just Omega and kind of her place in all this, and why is she so valuable? What are the Bad Batch going to be what are they going to do? What's their purpose now? Right now they're just kind of just running missions for someone to pay off this debt. But where do they fit into the greater galactic narrative as the Empire is starting to form? And as you mentioned, are they going to be, or do they have it in them to fight their brothers, basically? Where are they going to be? Where they're not going to be just doing bounty missions or going on missions for this Trandoshan forever. You know what I mean? Where are they going to go? where is home for the Bad Batch in a galaxy that's now run by the Empire?
Can you imagine if they plan a second season and leave us with a cliffhanger this season?
Oh,
they probably will.
Going to get one then.
Yeah, they probably will.
No, but like when I say cliffhanger, I mean like,
yeah,
like
somebody's going to get it. I think we're going to lose a member of the Bad Batch. Even if it's Crosshair, I think that would be an acceptable way because Crosshair is still 100,000% still their brother. Like if they have the option to save Crosshair, they're obviously going to do it. And I think episode 15 or 16, that's going to be brought to the table, and they're going to fail at it, or Crosshair is going to get his revenge on the Bad Batch and take one of them, and that's going to be our cliffhanger going into a second season where we're now down a Bad Batch member, and I think Crosshair would serve it, even if they can't.
I hope
that would throw a rift in their group. Like why couldn't the other three would look at Hunter like, why can't our leader Hunter get the job done? Why couldn't he help us save Crosshair? Because when the team fails, you always look to the leader, and that would because Echo's already questioning everything Hunter does. If Hunter says we go here, Echo's like, why are we going there? Like, because Echo's disgruntled. So and that's a little part of the plot that they're not really focusing on yet, and I think that's going to play a bigger part as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Echo's used to Rex, Rex, the person who can never do anything wrong. Like Rex is like the top tier clone. So when you go from Rex to Hunter, and Hunter's now making a bunch of mistakes, he's gonna question that leadership.
I believe that this Bad Batch, and we can all agree on it. It's pretty clear. Bad Batch is so similar to Mandalorian. What they've taken. It's like George Lucas even said, it's like poetry, it rhymes, and history repeats itself. It's like identical. Like you have your child, figure, whatever the case may be, captured, dad figure, Hunter and Mando, same exact, like bounty hunters after, same exact concept. Everything is identical to a T.
Even the apprehension towards droids.
Yeah,
right?
and the whatchamacallit, the chambers, the what do you want? Oh gosh, the scientific experimental, you know what I mean? Like the chambers with the clones.
Cloning,
everything. This is literally Mando season 2 all over again. And literally history repeats it. If you look at The Force Awakens is the exact same storyline as A New Hope in so many ways. Desert planet, main character meets an older, same exact concept. Planet destructing weapon. So in my opinion, if they do take this route, well, they weren't afraid to pull the plug once with Mando and Grogu being separated. I have no doubt they're going to try to pull the plug with this one as well. And I do not believe we will see Omega with Hunter at the end of the season, which is why we're getting so many episodes where we see their relationship with the Lulu doll. And now they were playing the game at the end of the episode, like dueling each other. These are all so we can get emotionally attached to these characters, because I believe at the end of the season, it's not going to be pretty. I believe it's going to be really emotional. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but this is too identical to Mando season 2.
Yeah. And then who are we going to see? Like other characters? Like, again, we're in this position, we're post Clone Wars, before the rebellion, like before Rebels. Like, are we going to stay in this little pocket of space, or are we start to bleed into the Rebels timeline, right? What we know who's out there. We are based on Rebels. Like, what other characters will we see interact with them? We already saw someone like Fennec. Cad Bane showed up. Like, who else are we going to see?
I believe that Luke Skywalker at the end of The Mandalorian, I believe that's going to be like the Boba Fett of this season. I believe that Boba Fett will be at the end. I believe we'll see Boba. If they already mentioned his name, I believe we're going to, for fans, it's Dave Filoni. For fan service, I believe we're going to get and I know this is a hot take, I believe we're going to get a reduel of that Cad Bane Boba Fett duel that was unfinished. I think we're going to get it somehow or another this season, and I believe the Luke Skywalker of the series will be Boba Fett.
It makes sense because if you're Omega and you're looking for someone, obviously she's chosen Hunter and she has the attachments to Hunter. But when Brother Boba comes and she's like, I don't know if I can go with you, but he can do what Hunter can't, which is take out Cad Bane. She's like, okay, he can protect me.
Yeah,
I could go with Boba. If that happens, that's the route that's how they would go.
That's the Luke Skywalker of the series, in my opinion. Yeah. It's just
too
many similarities between Mando season 2, and it's not because it's like it's not like, how to explain it? Like, it's not like it's a carbon copy, because it's not. It's just literally how Star Wars is. Like, so many things in Star Wars repeats itself in the most beautiful ways possible, though. And that's like that's the beauty of Star Wars. That we can relate. We make fun of it, but hallway scenes. How many hallway scenes have we gotten? Like, you know what I mean? It just repeats itself.
Like, that's a fan service now. Like, when do we get our next hallway scene? And it has to be.
Yeah, literally, people make fun of like hallway scenes for every character. That people want a hallway scene for the Gonk droid in the Bad Batch. Like, you know what I mean? Like C3PO hallway scene. Like
hallway scene that we do need. No one ever mentions this. A Yoda hallway scene.
Yoda hallway.
Could you imagine the twirling death lightsaber that he has, and he's just going spinning through the hallway? Like,
oh yeah,
that would be. Let's talk about that. Would be amazing. That would be something.
Oh yeah.
Because what's the next one everybody wants? They want the next one would probably be Ahsoka. I would love a Yoda hallway scene. I think that would be so amazing.
It would suit. It would fit. It would fit.
We got our forest scene for Ahsoka, right? In Mandalorian.
And with your little Ahsoka banner back there, you want to show it off one more time?
I'm gonna reposition myself eventually. I just moved last week, so I'm still trying to build up this whole backdrop behind me. But yeah, we just got the Ahsoka put in.
I'll show you something.
He's gone.
Wait, what?
Derp, come back.
Is he gonna come back in Ahsoka cosplay? Please tell me he's gonna come back in Ahsoka
cosplay.
Have one. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Oh, I just wanted to show you guys what happened this week. I don't know, Warrior, did you see this?
I did.
Yeah, it was really special. We unboxed it on stream. It was when we interviewed her. They had like multiple different packages. And I was like, okay, I'm not really the autograph type, but it won't hurt. So she personalized it. It was so sweet. She's the most sweetest person ever.
So I am an idiot. I went to Disney in May, and I was there for Galaxy's Edge on May the 4th. I actually did a live stream there. Now, I'm an idiot. This is why I'm an idiot, because I didn't extend my trip through May the 4th. And so I left like midway through the day. I come to find out that Ashley Eckstein was there, and that they had a lightsaber meetup in the evening. I left midday because, again, for the fourth time, I'm an idiot. And I missed out.
It happens, man. I'm sure you heard my Leia story. And the good thing about Ashley is she does many cons. She loves Comic-Con. She loves the fans. So I believe that you will eventually get another opportunity at that. But man, that is devastating here.
All I had to do was just extend this day, like or just shift it by one day, and I would have been able to meet her and meet all these cool people.
This was not in the will of the Force.
Apparently not.
We got about 8 minutes left. Let's just start throwing out questions to each other. Dylan, you got any questions for us, man?
Yeah. First of all, I do have a couple questions, but I wanted to also just because we're talking about Star Wars, I gotta get people on this train as much as I possibly can, and I'm gonna go grab this prop real quick.
Choo choo! I'm ready.
I love that banner so much.
We just got 2 new books on Tuesday, and I feel like no one's talking about the High Republic. This new era of Star Wars publishing that got launched in January, it's freaking awesome. If you don't know what the High Republic is, it's basically a big giant initiative of books, comics, short stories, and it's set 200 years before the prequels. It's a new era of Star Wars that we've never really seen before. Basically, the concept is this is the Jedi at their peak. Centuries after the war with the Sith, this is when we think about the Jedi, the height of their powers, this is it right here. And the Republic, basically at the height of their powers. And it's about them trying to expand the reach of the Republic out into the frontiers. Again, 200 years before the prequels, a whole new cast of Jedi characters, whole new cast of Republic characters. Yoda is around at this time, so you get to see Yoda sort of at his peak, and he's still a giant, celebrity basically in this era. And it's awesome. And the books have been incredible. They've got incredible writers and creators on them, and they're basically doing it in phases where a new novel comes out. There's comics ongoing that expand certain characters. It's huge. It's awesome.
I got a question for you. I might be wrong, because usually when you would stream in the mornings, I'd be I would be just waking up, and I might have heard this wrong. Didn't you used to do in your Discord server? I think you mentioned. Didn't you used to do book readings in your Discord server?
We did a book club. Yeah, we did a book club. Yeah,
we so cool.
Yeah, we did a book club when Light of the Jedi came out, and this book is, by the way, like this is the first book that kind of establishes the era of Charles Soule. Incredible book. We did a book club then, and we did a book club in March when the Claudia Gray book Into the Dark came out, and because there were also comics, because there's 2 comic series, and so right now, like this summer, we're going to be inundated with content because we just had 2 new books drop on Tuesday. They've got books that are written for adults, and then books that are written for younger audiences that expand like the Padawan characters over here and the the Jedi Masters over here. And like I said, if you love Star Wars and you like, first of all, just amazing stuff, like you've got a whole new cast of Jedi waiting for you. And we're probably going to get an animated series at some point. We do know that one of the series, the Acolyte, I believe, that was announced at that presentation a couple months ago, is going to be set in the High Republic era, and it's a good time to get on these books. There's a lot of them. Go get the audiobooks. The audiobooks are like so well produced. You get sound effects, Star Wars music. Do it.
That's like, what I'm doing.
It's awesome.
I'm about to make you a happy man, Dylan, because I can't read as much as I like to anymore, even though I just bought 6 new books today. Halo books, by the way, and 1 Lord of the Rings book. The audiobooks, I've listened to Light of the Jedi. I'm halfway through Into the Dark. And then my first High Republic, well, I had a Light of the Jedi video months ago when it first came out. But my first new High Republic video literally just dropped during this podcast. Not just literally dropped. I had it up. I had it pre-uploaded.
Why are we not watching this right now?
But it is kind of a spoiler, but it is the new dark being in this story. So it's in the comic book. So a couple months ago, I made a video called The Bogon Collection, and because I was reading Count Dooku, right? And this is how everything starts to tie in. So Count Dooku, Jedi Lost, I was reading the book, and when Dooku's a young little boy, he goes into the restricted section of the archives, and he discovers the Bogon Collection. And inside that is Darth Krau's lightsaber, and that's all we hear of it. Well, now it's all coming back around, and Darth Krau existed in the time of the Old Republic, and now in the next comic book, number 7, he's going to make his first appearance. So that would be, if you're a comic book collector, that'll be a good one to pick up because everybody loves first appearances, right? And it looks like they're finally leading into the Acolyte now. So I'm excited, man. And
yes,
once I read Into the Dark, I'm going to make an Into the Dark video. So I'm right there with you, dude. Light of the Jedi was fun, and I know Sean Darkley was reading it. And people, I think, are just like pushing it away from their shelf. But everybody that I've talked to that's actually read the material is having a fun time.
They put amazing creators. They put Charles Soule, if you don't know, like this guy is like, he's writing the main Star Wars comic right now. He wrote the Vader comic. He wrote Lando. This guy is an incredible writer, and he's been carrying Star Wars, the literary side of Star Wars, for the last like a couple of years. And so with him and Claudia Gray, like they have some amazing creators on here. And again, like, we got Bad Batch right now, but we're going to have a little bit of a dry period as far as like the television side of Star Wars. So if you need new Star Wars content, this is canon. This is big canon. It's, again, the height of the Jedi at their power before their fall. This is, if you love the Jedi, if you love the Force, and Light of the Jedi, where from reading it, like it explores the Force in ways and interprets the Force in ways that we've really never seen before. It's very, very fascinating stuff. Like, you're missing out if you're not reading it. Like, do it now. Get in on it now.
A Chewbacca Jedi in there too.
Yes, the Wookiee Jedi. He's adorable. He's amazing. Jedi, I want a doll of this character. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I have a question for you. And speaking of dolls, everyone in the chat was talking about Spock behind you.
Oh my god. Okay. Yes, there's an Ewok. There's an Ewok in the corner here. He used to be like right on the wall. But basically, it all stems from my complete and utter dislike of Ewok Hunt. I never disliked Ewoks growing up, but like that mode made me dislike Ewoks, and so it ended up becoming a sub goal. And then we bought the Ewok, we named the Ewok. There's some Star Trek nonsense, and he's been here ever since. And even with the move, he came with the move. So I got to find a permanent spot for him in this new setup. But yes, there he is. He's on YouTube now. Congratulations, Spock the Ewok.
That is funny. And I don't have to ask the YouTube question on you because the Order of Dylan link is directly below to find his YouTube. And the man's already started it. The only thing I can tell you is to just get after it, man. Just make as much content as you can, get on there. Put Knockout City, put whatever you can, because I'm excited to watch your YouTube grow just as much as I've watched your Twitch grow. Any final words, Dylan?
Yeah, no, the YouTube thing. Yeah, that's something I actually, like I said, I mod and I'm the YouTube manager for a large partnered streamer. I run her 20,000 subscriber gaming channel, and so I know my way around YouTube. I watch YouTube more than I watch anything else, so it's just a matter of time. It's just creating content for YouTube time. I don't want to just bring Twitch stuff there. I want to actually make stuff for YouTube, and watching what you've been doing with the Lore Seeker stuff has been awesome. So that's kind of that's now that I've moved and I'm settled in and all that, my focus is going to be on continuing to expand the YouTube so that I can grow that out. But other than that, like I said, I'm excited about the future of Star Wars. Obviously, we need new Star Wars games. E3 was a huge disappointment for us. We're waiting on Star Wars Hunters news. We're waiting on Lego Skywalker Saga. But in the meantime, like I said, we're doing stuff like Knockout City on my channel right now. All about community, all about having fun, all about making people laugh. And so, I didn't get a chance to ask my questions to you two. Dang it! I know, questions.
Man. Unfortunately, work always. But the good news is, Dylan, we're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. And we will definitely get you on. And then we can't announce any things, but me and Serp have been talking behind the scenes. We have some stuff we're working on, and I think Dylan, we could get you on more sooner than you think. Okay.
I'm here.
Other than that, when do you stream next, man? When can the world see you next?
The world can see me next on Monday, hopefully. I don't know if you guys know, I live in Florida, and we just found out there's a damn hurricane that is barreling down on us. We should be fine where I'm at, but assuming that doesn't wreck everything, it should be Monday. Playing a lot of Knockout City. Like I said, right now I put in an application for this creator program, and so I'm excited about the game. I really want that opportunity, really, really badly. So we're continuing to play some Knockout City. My goal is to bring something else into the channel to kind of balance it out a little bit. I don't know what that's going to be just yet. I've been talking, anyone from my channel knows, I've been talking about this for weeks. I'm like, what are we going to play? So things like Red Dead and Sea of Thieves, possibly. We're trying to find something else, but something that's community oriented. So yeah, Monday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll be back. And we stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday at 4:30.
Love it, man. Serpents, when are we going to find you next, man?
Tomorrow. Gonna have some fun. Some exciting things tomorrow. Yeah.
On the high seas.
Awesome guests tomorrow as well. Yeah. And yourself?
I'm going to be, I will not be back to streaming until Monday, I believe. And yeah, Monday will be my birthday. So it'll be my birthday.
Let's go.
I have a banner.
I will be there.
My bones are going to hurt, but we're going to get through the stream as an old man can. And I'm excited. Of course, we'll be playing Halo again. And then on July 9th, the last shameless plug will be my 1-year YouTube anniversary, and I got a big plan for that. It's going to be, already talked to Serp and DC and Boba about it. It's going to be, I think you guys are going to be very surprised with what happens on the 9th. So with that, may the force be with you all.
So much.
Always.